Good morning to all. Welcome to the BA second day class of English again. So, we were doing the play Macbeth, a tragedy by Shakespeare. So, we have done the Act 1 in the previous classes, and in this class we will be discussing the happenings in Act 2. So, let us begin with the scene 1. In scene 1, Banquo and Fleance meet Macbeth in the night, where Banquo speaks of the dream he saw the previous night of those three witches. So, Banquo, who was there with Macbeth when the three witches made their prophecies about Macbeth's becoming the king. So, Banquo is telling Macbeth that he saw a dream about the three witches again. But then Macbeth, who is now all set to kill the king, to murder the king, pretends that he does not know any idea, or he does not have any thought of the witches. So, he is pretending to be not aware of the prophecy of the witches. Though he has planned all his actions towards the kingship after the witches foretold about his becoming the king. So, but Macbeth is pretending of his ignorance regarding the whole thing. So, now we see that Macbeth has a vision of a floating dagger, a sword, which makes him draw out his own dagger and reinforce his evil thoughts regarding the murder of Duncan. So, in the dream, in the environment of horror and witchcraft, he sees a nightmare in which Macbeth sees a dagger which is floating in front of him, and this kind of horrifying and as well as evoking or provoking kind of a dream makes him pull out his own dagger, draw out his own dagger and be prepared and be ready to kill the king Duncan. Okay, so Macbeth is all ready. He is formed enough to murder the king to clean his way towards the kingship of Scotland. In scene 2, we see that Lady Macbeth speaks of her strength. She speaks to Macbeth about how powerful she is, and even she can kill the king, but she couldn't kill the king, and the reason she tells Macbeth is that in the sleep, in his dream, the king Duncan resembled her own father. So, that is why she cannot kill Duncan. Then Macbeth comes after murdering the king. Okay, so Macbeth was all ready, all set to kill the king. The prophecy of the witches and the reinforcement of Lady Macbeth instigated him to kill the king, to murder the king, and his own over ambitiousness also made him took this heinous act of murdering the king. So, Macbeth kills Duncan and he comes after murdering the king, and both assure each other, both Lady Macbeth and Macbeth assure each other of their victory, of not having any bad aftermath of this murder. So, Macbeth is haunted by his conscience because he is a very humble and very kind person from within, a good person indeed, but his over ambitiousness made him kill the king, and now his guilty consciousness and his conscience is not making him comfortable after the murder. So, Macbeth is haunted by his conscience, which he says he won't let him sleep peacefully anymore. So, his conscience and his guilt consciousness will not him sleep peacefully after the murder. So, he is accepting, he is confessing about his guilt with to his wife Lady Macbeth. Then Lady Macbeth, who seems more cruel than Macbeth, accuses him of weakness and he taunts him of being a weak man. She asks him to wash his hands, and doing so, he should also wash off the guilt of murdering the king. So, together they decide to pretend as watchers when the news of the murder arrives at them. So, because of the pre-planned, as it was planned by both of them, they planned the murder of the King Duncan, and now he is killed. So, both of them are going to pretend that they are not aware of the whole thing, because they have planned to transfer the blame on the two bodyguards of the king who were intoxicated during the night. Then in scene 3 of Act 2, we see that in Macbeth's castle, where King Duncan was sleeping, a porter hears knocking and fantasies himself as a porter at the gate of hell, who has to answer to Beelzebub. So, the porter, the gatekeeper who is keeping watch on Macbeth's castle, sees a knocking, and who knocks the door? Macduff and Lennox, the two princes, now enters, and they inquire about the gatekeeper's late response. Okay. So, the gatekeeper says that he was wondering of the effects of the drinking alcohol. So, because of the alcohol, he could not get the knocking at the door clearly, and he got late in opening the door. So, now Macduff and Lennox enters the place where where Duncan was sleeping. Then Macbeth comes and leads them, Macduff and Lennox, the sons of Duncan. Okay. So, Macduff and Lennox are the sons of Duncan, and they are going to meet their father Duncan. So, Macbeth comes and leads them towards the king's chamber, where king was sleeping, and where Macduff returns with a cry of horror. So, because he sees the dead body of the corpse of his dead father. So, Macduff returns with a cry of horror, and everyone arrives at the scene, and due to the seeming evidences, Lennox presumes of the king's chambermaids as murderers. So, now he assumes the whole idea of Lady Macbeth and Macbeth prove successful, as Lennox presumes that the two guards, the two chambermaids, killed the king Duncan because they were over drunk. So, because of their intoxication, they killed the king. So, Lady Macbeth starts acting in the most affecting manner. Okay, she is a good actor, she is a very strong woman, strong willed woman, and now she is proving herself to be a good actor also. So, she starts acting as she is not aware of the whole thing, she does not know anything about the whole thing. So, Macbeth and the rest decide to meet in the hall, and Malcolm and Donalbain decide to leave for England and Ireland respectively. So, Malcolm and Donalbain, the supporters of the king, have also left for England and Ireland. So, now the plan of Lady Macbeth and Macbeth is completed, and the biggest hindrance, obstacle of their path in becoming in making Macbeth the king of Scotland clears, and now Macbeth is all set to become the king of Scotland. Then in the next scene we see that outside Macbeth's castle, Rose and an old man are thinking, they are pondering upon the nature of evil happenings in the preceding days. So, both of the courtiers are thinking, they are pondering about the bad happenings, evil happenings in the days to come, because they have some bad feeling about the evil happenings in the coming future. Then Macduff, the son of Duncan enters the scene and he informs them of Macbeth's accession to the throne. So, finally Macbeth is ascended to the throne of Scotland after the murder of Duncan. So, Macbeth leaves and the other two also leave for to witness the coronation of Macbeth, the new king. So, everybody has consented towards Macbeth becoming the next king. So, now in Act 2 we can see that the whole planning and the whole thing and the whole plan that was given a start in the Act 1 is performed perfectly in Act 2, and the King Duncan has been killed by Macbeth, and Macbeth has transferred the blame of the murder upon the two guards who were keeping watch on the chamber of King Duncan, and now he is free, and now he is the king of Scotland. So, his dream comes true, and now we see that how he is guilty conscious and how this evil thing haunts him from within, and Lady Macbeth also, and ultimately he has to meet his doom. So, let us see what happens in the next act. Please go through the Act 2 again, and if you have any query, please ask me in the comment box. Enough for today. Thank you.